Hello, my name is Eric Harris, and here at Nintex, we empower individuals from all walks of life, all cultures, all technical skill sets. We empower people like you and myself to do more, to automate more, to build more processes, to do things that would normally take hours, countless hours, to make things repeatable, to make you successful in your line of work. And that's for one very important thing. Today, September the 1st, and I believe it's the first Friday depending on how it falls, but it's National Food Bank Day. It's also National Chicken Boy Day, National Lazy Moms Day, and National No Rhyme or Reason Day. Not sure how these all got their names, but no rhyme or reason? Really? Anyway, so back to National Food Bank Day, something that I can personally identify with. I work with a food bank and some other organizations here locally in the Seattle area, and we feed countless numbers of homeless people, seniors, Meals on Wheels. There's a whole host of programs that we interact with, and I'm able to do a lot of what I do as far as being a volunteer to give my time because I'm automating a lot of things with Nintex. Literally automating a lot of things with Nintex. Yes, I work for the company, but we also use the product internally to do a host of things to interact with different partners and customers such as yourselves. And it's really exciting to see the fruit of that labor, to be able to do those processes, to bring automation there, to bring productivity there, and then I'll be able to afford the time to do other things outside of work, such as volunteering. And that's what Nintex empowers to do, and that's what Nintex wants to do, and that's one reason why I'm doing these videos, to help you to understand some more about the features of the product, of the platform that you have access to be able to do more, to automate more, so that you can actually take time to do other things as well. One of our models that we had here in Nintex, and we still talk about it relevantly, is make work less work. So with that being said, welcome to this week's Feature Friday. Let's get started talking about all the different updates that came within the last year with Office 365, for Nintex for Office 365 rather, and how you can take advantage of those. All right, so bear with me now. We got a lot of stuff that happened within the last 12 months for our Nintex for Office 365. And it's amazing how that product has come along. But not only that, what people are doing with it. We have customers from all over the globe that are doing countless things with Nintex, and it's really exciting. But let's go through this list really quick and let's see, what can you use? What can you use to automate and better do things with your processes today? All right, so let's get started. So number one, and this is in no order whatsoever, but it's a really cool features. I actually covered these three in a recent video, the link's below as well. But I covered these features as a part of 3 secrets that I use when building and designing workflows across any of the platforms that Nintex offers. So the first one, action sets. What is that? That's the ability to be able to put a bunch of actions inside of a container so that you can actually make the display a lot easier. It's a pretty cool feature. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but action sets was one of those that you got to check out. Secondly, collapsible actions. So being able to expand and collapse an action. Again, these are helping you with the design of the UI when you're doing the process so that you can actually navigate the screen a lot easier. We make it easy for you to use the product. Not only that, easier for you to do other things with the product as well. And then we have enable and disable actions. And that's one of the cool things here that allows you to go through when you're debugging or you're testing or you're developing and you want to not to have to create new workflows and other things. You can create your workflows and disable certain actions in the workflow so that the logic runs through and you're testing things out. Use it for that specific purpose. And if you have actions in there that you have disabled and you've gotten the workflow to where it can be published or ready for production, pull those actions out if you need to. There's no point in having actions just sitting in there being disabled unless it's for a very good reason. So keep that in mind. All right, going into it, we have multi-set variables. This is one that's really interesting. We introduced this earlier this year, and this allows you to set multiple variables, again, saving real estate space when it comes to building and designing your workflows. But it acts the same way when you're setting a variable. So the idea is you can set multiple variables so that you can capture the data inside of a workflow at a particular point in time and then use those variables in other places. So multi-set variables is really cool. Something with forms that I actually do appreciate is we did manage metadata support. And that's one where we allow you to actually access the term store and manage metadata within your form so that people can actually fill out the information correctly and using terms that are already preset or predefined. This is a great way to continue to keep the input clean, keep your users informed on what they need to fill out, and keep the process simple so that you don't have to go back in and correct things after the fact. Inputting of data is critical to a business process, whether it's be approving a task or submitting information about documents or contracts or whatever it may be. And doing managed metadata is actually a good way to do that. And we brought that to the form process. We also brought save and continue to the forms. And that's awesome because a lot of people were saying, I don't want to submit it and kick off a workflow or anything like that, or do any advanced logic just to keep it in a draft state. I want to be able to save it as a draft and come back to it. Well, Nintex introduced this into its forms product, and it's something that I've seen a lot of people using. When I say a lot, I've seen several people using it in a very interesting way. So something that you should take a look at if you need to have something where the person can submit it and come back and then update it again and then submit it for actual approval or for review or whatever that is. Use the save and continue feature. Don't try to architect and build it out. We built it right into the product. Use it, and you'll find that inside of the button. So you look at the button, you'll see save, save and draft, or save and continue, and then you also see submit, save and submit. So look at those functions when you look at the button on top of a form and see how that goes. Speaking of forms, we just recently rolled out responsive forms, and that's one of the things here as well. Responsive forms gives you the ability to design a quick form, a form that doesn't need a lot of restrictions as far as design processes, themes, a lot of configuration when it comes to validating different rules, and etc. You want to design something quick, make it responsive so that it's adaptable to multiple devices, and you also want to get it out there so that other people can use it and input really quickly. You don't want to take a lot of time designing it. That doesn't mean you can't do something more complex. It just means that it doesn't require it. We have responsive forms for that, and the designer is super slick. It's real easy to use, and it's something that I hope you take advantage of. And this is all in Office 365. How amazing is that, right? All right, so the next one, two more things we have is, well, one more rather, redirect pages. So this gives you the ability to have a form and you want to redirect the user to a specific page or a specific part of your intranet maybe, or process, or to a different form. Anything you can actually, in the URL, inside of the form settings, you can actually put in a redirect URL and redirect the user once they submit to a different place. And this is good for continuing to enhance the user experience when they're submitting information with your forms. And this is another way that we, again, make it easier for you not only to design and develop your processes, but then implement them and keep your users exactly where you need them to be so that they feel comfortable submitting and working with the processes that you set up. If you don't have adoption, you don't really have a process. You just have an idea that people are aware about. Think about it. All right, so as you can see, there was a lot of features, a lot of things that we brought into the product. Really great to see those things come through. More importantly, it shows that we're listening to you. So if you have any comments or any questions about the product, any features you'd like to see, or questions about the features, one, you can subscribe to the channel and write a comment below this video and let me know what the feature is, and I'll do my best to either share an update about it, share a Feature Friday about it, and give you a shout out, something like that. But more importantly, I'll take your information and present it to our product management and say, hey, here's a user that had a question. Also, you can go to User Voice, the links below as well, and actually write up or create a comment about a specific feature, or you can search for a feature that someone else may have had some comments about as well and add yours to there. Vote it up, vote it down if you don't think it's important, and we pay attention to that. We're looking at those things, and we're engaged with our community, with you, our users and customers and partners on how we can make the product as best as possible. Why? Because we use it, we want you to use it, and we know that together we're doing something, we're empowering each other to do more things, to automate more, and again, take advantage of doing other things in this world besides just work. Who wants to work all the time? I don't. But anyway, so I'm glad that you stayed tuned to this week's Feature Friday. Hope this information was informative. Got a list of blogs below that talk about each feature specifically. So you can check those out if you want to go into more details. Take a look at the links below. And as always, subscribe to the channel, share and like this video. Let me know what you think about it. And stay tuned for next week's Feature Friday. We got a lot of stuff coming this year, jam-packed in. It's going to be exciting to talk about all the things that are happening with Nintex. But stay tuned, and I look forward to hanging out with you on next week's Feature Friday. And again, take time and volunteer and do something for someone else in the organization as well.
Snoop.